I'm Finn. I use they, them pronouns, a lecturer at the University of Massachusetts Department of Theater. Fun fact about me, I've spent most of my quarantine writing and reading fan fiction and doing paint by numbers. I worked on this show called Sink or Swim, and it's with a theater company that we're just now starting to build called Queer Now. And the project was a devised drag performance, all done in lip sync in physical theater, using world mythology to look at this question of climate change and, you know, what we're going to do when the water rises. And that it was an incredible experience. And we got to work on it over the course of about 18 months before our first production, and then another 6 months before our second production. So it was like a long-term process that was really cool. This is something we've actually thought about a lot because we are developing it into a company now. And our primary goal and mission is to make it unapologetically queer, body positive, POC positive, very much about the people and the identities in the space. And there's a lot of tendency right now to shy away from politics in theater, but also shying away from actually acting on politics in this space that we're purporting on stage. And I think that's been a critical, central focus for us. I also think the long-term part of it has been key, letting it percolate, letting it breathe, doing long-term theater. And then I also really like that we live in a non-hierarchical model. We all engage in all aspects of the show. We all jump in and give each other feedback and Liz Lerman critique, and everybody pitches in, and I love that. There's no sort of the buck stops here person. We're all on a team. I think we've all had those moments. There was a very particular moment, though, where I was in my car crying over a production and discovered that two of my colleagues on the production were also in cars in different parts of the campus crying because of the production. And so for me, this production really, it was a new play festival type project. And it really fell apart because there was so much competition, antagonism, distrust of one another, lack of communication. It just ended up being such a disastrous process that it didn't even matter that the product was pretty. I really think egos are the biggest thing that needs to go. There was so much sense that someone had the right idea if they were the loudest or if they were in charge or whatever it might be. And I think we needed to let go of all of our egos and focus on the best idea for the project, not the loudest. Just a real struggle. I also think there was a tendency in this particular project to repeat this phrase, "That's the way it's always been done." And I always think that's a red flag. If we're doing something because, tradition, that's not a good reason to do something. And it definitely wasn't best practices. So I want to throw that away and re-examine all the practices we're using. And then I also think, distrust or fear of failure or fear that someone else is going to mess up kept a lot of us from being able to take risks and make choices. And I think we need to let go of some of that fear.